You're listening to Witch Wednesdays, your weekly podcast source for all things witchcraft in the modern world. Welcome back to Witch Wednesdays. I'm Steph, and I want to thank you for sticking with me while I was sick in episode 200. That was a tough one to get out. My voice was just like going. And if you can kind of hear it now or used to my regular voice, I am still like a little bit sick. I have not kicked it. This has been 21 days now, and I still have this lingering cough, and I feel like I'm not 100% better. And it is just such a pain in the butt. But here we are, pre-Thanksgiving, and this episode is going to be like a pre-Thanksgiving check-in because it is all of the things that I wanted to talk about and remind you of in episode 200, and I just was not able to because my voice, I got those 3 minutes of the episode out and that was it. I couldn't do any more. So happy to be back and share those things in this episode. So it's like my usual end of the year episode, and I think last year I also did it around Thanksgiving instead of the true end of the year because it's just easier to prep for stuff in December rather than have this episode go live at the end of December. I like to do it now instead. And also this usually, no fault of you guys, but this is usually the least listened to, lower listenership episode because it is the Wednesday before Thanksgiving. People are just busy. And I know that it's Thanksgiving tomorrow. Everybody's traveling. People are prepping for Thanksgiving, whether they're going someplace, having people over, cleaning the house, prepping dishes. So I know that people are not really listening to podcasts on this day. Totally fine, but it makes it a good time to jump in and do all of those reminder little things. The first of which is today is, if you're listening to this, the day it goes live, the morning it goes live, the last day to enter the giveaway. So it should be ending at midnight tonight, I think Central Time, and I will let the winners know after Thanksgiving. So it did collect your email when you did all of your entries. So I will see that email and I will reach out maybe Saturday, I think, and send emails to the 4 different winners to get, if you're the main grand prize winner, to get your shipping address. And then if you are one of the other 3 winners that are winning a gift card, I will reach out to see what it is that you would like. And then those prizes will ship out next week. So be sure to enter. I will have the link in this episode as well in case you want to get your last minute entries in. So that is the first and most important reminder. Is that a big giveaway, huge prize box, books and almanacs for next year, planner, crystals, candles, a little mini cauldron, just all kinds of fun stuff coming your way if you are the grand prize winner. The next housekeeping thing is just to thank you all for the listening and all of the support. It is coming up on almost full 4 years of doing this podcast, which is just crazy because it started in January, the first Wednesday in January of 2020. So much has changed in the world since then. So much has changed in my life and in the podcast. So it is just crazy that you guys have been, I know there's a lot of you that have been listening since episode 1. So that is amazing. Thank you for being here for almost 4 years. That is just crazy to think about. So I appreciate all of the listening and all of the support. As far as the support goes, it always helps me when you listen to the ads. I put it at the very end of the episode so you don't have to listen to it if you don't want to, because I know that they can be annoying, but that does help fund the podcast and keep it going. So when you do listen to that, I thank you very much. And of course, subscribing over on Patreon. I absolutely would not be able to keep doing the podcast if it wasn't for patrons. So I just generally have a lot of other things going on in my life. So if I did not have those ads and the patrons, I would not be able to continue putting the effort into the podcast. So thank you all so much for that support. I truly appreciate it. Speaking of Patreon, that I will have linked as well. I always do. And I have updated the tiers, and that will be, going into 2024. So the main tier is only $5. It includes all of the content for the month. There is Sabbath guide, ebooks, weekly witchcraft posts, various PDF grimoire pages, spell support and advice. Plus you also get the digital Notion grimoire template. So there's a full lists, archives page, and coming soon a full page of additional resources like books and shops and blogs and channels, all of that. So Patreon is the best place to get all of that. And I also now have just $1 support tier, and I have a $10 tier to get a tarot reading every month or a spell every month. I will reach out to you at the beginning of the month if you're on that tier, and you can let me know which of those you want. So all of the details are over on Patreon. If you would like to join the community, I would definitely appreciate that. And I have a lot of fun stuff coming next year. But of course, you also get access to all of the older content as well. Something newer this year is the YouTube channel, and that sort of allows me to chat more about like personal content as it relates to my witchcraft practice, and also be able to show things like how to do spells, because that is a lot easier to visually show that than just talk about it on a podcast. I will also be having a video every day until Yule, starting December 1st. So if you are not subscribed, I would love to have you over there. If you are, that is one of the entries on the giveaway. So make sure to go click that box. But yes, I have tons of witchcraft content coming in December, video every day. So hopefully you will join me over there as well. And I also want to do the reminder to join the Discord server, which is totally free. There's over 1,000 witches there from all over the world. I have great moderators, so it is a very friendly, open environment. You can ask all kinds of questions. You can be totally anonymous if you want. If you want to get on there and share your Instagram or your shop or anything like that, there's places for that as well. So it is a very open and welcoming community, and lots of resources and getting your questions answered. And again, totally free. So hopefully you will join over there as well if you haven't already. Now then, let's get on to plans for 2024, because it is going to be a little bit different than what you have been used to in the last year or two. So next year, I'm going to have longer episodes, but possibly less often. So I am going to be doing one long episode around the first of each month as a solo episode. So it's either going to be before or after the first. It just kind of depends on where the nearest Wednesday falls. And it is going to be a chat all about the energies and holidays of the month. So sun signs, moon phases, anything like that. So it will help you plan out your daily, weekly, and monthly witchcraft, like what herbs and crystals are associated with that month, what the full moon of that month, what the energies are like for that, what animal spirits are best to work with at that time of year. Of course, any Sabbath information, if there is a Sabbath in that month, or any other important holidays. And then, of course, those months with a Sabbath are going to be a little bit longer. So any months without a Sabbath, I'll also be including an additional related deep dive topic. So those are going to be much longer episodes. In an ideal world, I would like to have an additional long deep dive episode each month. So have that start of the month episode, and then have an additional one where it is a longer episode and it's focused on a specific subject or type of witchcraft. I know death magic has been requested, binding, banishing, green witchcraft, so something like that. But I know myself, and I already know that it's unlikely to happen every single month. I would like it to, and that is ideally the plan, but I cannot make any promises on that front, but there will at least be a few. And then the other episodes will be the interviews like I have been doing, if there are relevant guests. So if not, there might just not be an episode that week. But with the longer episodes, hopefully that will sort of even out in content for you. So those are sort of just my plans going into 2024. If you have any other additional ideas or requests, rather than doing a survey this year, I'm going to have just the question box on this episode on Spotify. So you can put that in there if you have any specific ideas, requests, people that you want interviewed, just things you would like to see. And of course, patrons will have a section on Patreon to put in their requests for both the podcast and for Patreon content. That's everything. That's everything for this episode. Enjoy your Thanksgiving. And if you have these next couple of days off, enjoy your days off from work. Don't forget to enter the giveaway. And if you have any information you'd like to share, then definitely head over to the question box. And I will see you all next week.
Need even more? Subscribe to Patreon and YouTube for exclusive bonus content. Order a themed witchcraft box every month through Witch Wednesdays on Etsy. Be sure to follow on Instagram at Witch Wednesdays Podcast. Find all these links and more at witchwednesdays.com.